You said before that the questions are the same, except from some magic moments. Do you remember any of these magic moments? I mean, what did you mean by that?
Well, those ones, and also there was a girl who came, and I often asked them, when I said, do you have any gay friends? And then I said, if you had a gay friend, what would happen? Well, if your best friend told you were gay, what would you do? And one girl said, often the kids would say, oh, I'd punch them, I'd never talk to them. One girl said, oh, I would blank her, I would never speak to her again. And she had all her girlfriends around her, and the girls went, you wouldn't speak to us? And she said, well, you're not gay anyway. She went, yeah, but if that you would stop speaking to me if I was gay? And she didn't expect them to say that to her, so she was, and she went really quiet afterwards. And then she was listening, and we were having the whole conversation, lots of, it's a lot of humour and a lot of fun, but intensity too. And then at the end, she came up to us and she said, I came into this room homophobic and I'm leaving changed. And that was an amazing thing to hear someone say that to your face. And there were some great moments. One kid stood up at the beginning of the question and answer and the workshop. They were asking the usual questions, who's gay, who's not. And then one kid just stood up and he said, I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed of this school. I'm ashamed of their response to you. I'm ashamed of the way they think. I can't believe that I go to school with these people and they haven't learned anything yet. And that was an amazing moment that he had the courage to just stand up and face the whole school. There's so many amazing kids out there. Even homophobic ones, there are amazing kids.
Okay, an obvious question, parents. Whenever we want to talk about homosexuality here in Slovenia, there are always some parents who would protest, and they would go very far as cancelling the workshop. So by putting this play into the school settings or the movie now, did you have any problems with the parents? Do you discuss that? How do you enter the school?
Well, obviously, some schools just didn't book it. The film has been sent to every single school, and thousands of schools have shown it already, and millions of kids are getting to see it. But it's gradual because they're all afraid of the subject, or they think it's going to be boring, or think it's going to be a bad film. There's all those issues, and the parents are a big issue. I had to go on the radio at one point because there was a big thing in one of the more conservative newspapers, and most of the papers are conservative, and they were saying, this play is going to schools and it's corrupting people. And so I went on a big talk show, and a parent came on the line and said, don't you think, because we were working with kids from 12 up to 18, and they said, don't you think that 12 or 11 is too young for kids to be talking about these issues? And I said, well, if your child is being bullied at 11, do you want to wait till he's 14 before anyone does anything about it? And the parent couldn't say, well, yes. So they hadn't thought of it. I said, this could be happening to your child. If your child is a good child and is studying and reading their books, other kids are probably bullying them for that. If your child is different or artistic, then your child is probably getting bullied for that. Your child does not have to be gay to be called gay. That's not the issue here. So I want to do something about it right now. If you want me to wait, we can discuss that, but I want to do something right now. And she got that. We've had several, and also another question, is it appropriate to teach about homosexuality in school? Another question was, and I had to say, it's a school. They're supposed to learn about everything. Do you say we mustn't teach them about Adolf Hitler in case they become Nazis? They don't do everything they're taught about. This is to tell them what's going on in the world. We want your children to be smart, and this is the way to get them there. To tell them everything and to tell them the truth about it. They can handle it. And again, most parents seem to get that.
So, how severe is the problem of homophobia in British schools?
Well, hopefully better now. I get amazing letters and responses from kids, so hopefully it's getting better. But it is bad. It is bad, and I get letters from kids saying how bad it is, and people Facebook me, and I went to school myself. I know it's bad. But I have hope. It's definitely getting better. Racism used to be bad, and that's getting much better. Homophobia is definitely getting better. Teachers are more and more passionate about doing something about this. I'm completely dedicated to this. I won't rest until bigotry is completely history. I don't think there's any place for it in this world, in this school, and it's the first thing I think about, and the last thing I think about in the day is how to make this world a better place. And that's why I make this film and my other films, and I'm dedicated to this, and I'm not the only one. So, it will change. But it is bad. It's bad all over the world. Britain is one of the better places. At least in Britain, you can send this film to schools. At least this is happening. It's difficult. I've shown this film all over the world, in Japan, and in Hong Kong, in America, in Australia, and all over the world. People are coming to me and saying, Switzerland, places I thought were liberal capital cities. People come to me and say, I can't be out at work. I can't be out, I'm a teacher, I can't be out at school. It's a long battle. Africa, is a nightmare. And, but I have complete, utter belief that we can change all of this because we're right. That there's one fundamental thing. Everybody is the same, everyone is equal, everyone is beautiful, everyone wants the world to be a better place. The one thing that we all agree on is that the world needs improvement. And I'm going to do my bit. So, and again, I'm not the only one. So I believe before I die, which hopefully won't be for quite a while, I believe I will see a change. I mean, hopefully there'll be even more changes here in Slovenia, because I'm a bit depressed because there are no Slovenian gay films. So one of the reasons I'm here, have you made one? You had a smile on your face, but you were just smiling at me. So I want to encourage and inspire and insist that somebody, one of you, one day will make a wonderful film and make a big difference here. I mean, you're making a difference just by coming here tonight, obviously. It's a huge thing. It's an amazing thing that you're doing, by the way. It's incredible. All these film festivals and stuff, they were impossible once. And it would have meant the world to me as a kid to have this to come to. And so, we have to be tireless about it. Because that's why we're here, to change the world.
But the situation in UK schools was not the same always. In the 80s you had Clause 28.
Which people still worry about.
That was actually my question. The Clause 28, that was something that prevented teachers from discussing homosexuality in schools, basically. So my question is the fear of talking about it still, can you still feel it?
Yes. Yes, I do. And it's everywhere. And people feel if you mention the word gay, that people will accuse you of being gay. So of course, the gay people are the ones who are the most afraid of mentioning it. But they're getting over it. It's changing. But yes, it's there. Fear. Fear is absolutely useless. It has no use at all. And hopefully teachers are teaching themselves that.